is Kcal News, Los Angeles.
Now at noon, a shooting at an Army base in Georgia. 5 soldiers are shot, plus federal agents in a rental truck carrying out an immigration sweep in the Westlake district this morning. And a historic home hitting the road piece by piece, the emotional homecoming for survivors of the Eaton fire. Welcome to Kcal News here at noon, and we are streaming on CBS News Los Angeles. I'm Jasmine Veal in for Amy Johnson today. And we start with that breaking news. 5 soldiers shot on the Fort Stewart Army base in southeast Georgia. Let's give you the latest on what we have right now. This happened about 40 miles southwest of Savannah just before 9 a.m. The base says there is no active threat and that the gunman was taken into custody about 40 minutes after the first report of a shooting. Now, we know that those 5 victims, they were treated there at the base and then moved on to the Wynn Army Community Hospital for further treatment. We'll keep you posted on the extent of their injuries, but the base here is the largest Army post east of the Mississippi River. It's home to thousands of soldiers assigned to the Army's 3rd Infantry Division and their families. President Trump and Defense Secretary Hegseth have been both briefed on this incident, and federal authorities, including the FBI, will be part of this investigation. And of course, we will continue to update you throughout the day as we learn more on this shooting there at the Army base. Let's talk about the heat that is building across Southern California. Man, oh man. Kcal meteorologist Marina Jurica here now with our next weather first forecast. And with the fires burning, Marina, I mean, it's having an impact on the air quality.
Huge impact. And you can see that the minute you walk out the door, Jasmine. So fires burning now, of course, the Gifford fire, the Gold fire, and the Rosa fire. And you can see the winds just driving the ash and pollutants in the air from the Gifford fire onshore straight into our neck of the woods. And that's why it's looked so hazy over the last couple of days. We're really surrounded by these 3 fires, our entire area, and it's going to continue to be problematic as we push into the next few days. So if you suffer from any respiratory illnesses, just keep that in mind, that there's a lot of particulate matter from these fires in the air, and you can see it just looming above the boundary layer. So we have this separation between, of course, the upper atmosphere and the lower atmosphere, and that boundary layer caps all of that pollution just hovering over our area, and it's not going anywhere because we have high pressure that is invading, and that area of high pressure just caps everything and just keeps all of that pollution right inside our neck of the woods. And that's why we have that air quality alert. It has been extended through tomorrow night. You can see throughout the Santa Clarita Valley, all the way through the Inland Empire and into our desert communities. And that's where we're starting to see some very unhealthy marks here in the Inland Empire and San Bernardino of that air quality. A little bit better as you head towards our coastal areas, but overall, it is not only hot, it is very polluted out there right now. So please take the necessary precautions. Highs today are going to be in the upper 70s at the beaches, upper 80s in the LA and OC Metro. Triple digits have now returned for the first day this week for the valleys, the Inland Empire, and the high desert, with the mid 80s in the mountains. We have issued a next weather alert for the heat starting tomorrow. I'll break that all down for you coming up in a moment, Jasmine.
In the past several weeks, we've seen the chaos and cruelty of immigration raids in the city. We have seen how they have impacted families. I am frankly worried about those families and if they're still hanging together, especially economically. And talking to families that have impacted, when one breadwinner, one wage earner is gone and disappears, to survive in our city economically, you need 2, 3, and 4 wage earners to keep housing, to keep food on the table, to keep clothes on your kids. When that is taken away from you, that just doesn't destabilize a family. That destabilizes a neighborhood, it destabilizes businesses, it destabilizes a community, but we are not going to allow this administration to destabilize our great city.
And that was breaking news as LA Mayor Karen Bass just finished speaking out this morning about the immigration raid that took place in the Westlake district. She says the raids have left the city in a humanitarian and economic crisis. Bass says that the immigration sweeps are hurting small businesses, disrupting local commerce, and destroying Angelenos' livelihood. Now, this morning's raid carried out by heavily armed federal agents in the Westlake district. Kcal News reporter Cara Finstrom speaking with people who were there when the agents moved in.
Everything clear here at this point, but there was a lot of activity this morning here along the sidewalk where there were food vendors set up, and then also in that adjacent parking lot. And take a look, U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley now posting images of this area along with this. For those who thought immigration enforcement had stopped in Southern California, think again. The enforcement of federal law is not negotiable, and there are no sanctuaries from the reach of the federal government.
Does anyone have a warrant for this arrest, for these arrests? Are these legal arrests?
This video was shot by a group that has been documenting such actions during the past few months. Everything here unfolding in a parking lot at Union and Wilshire in the Westlake District. Federal agents there in tactical gear escorting people towards a yellow Penske rental box truck. Now, in the footage, you can see at least 3 or 4 people being taken into custody. You can also see the words Border Patrol Police on the vests. We've reached out to the Department of Homeland Security for more information. They generally do not release any information about operations until they are complete. This happened about 6:45 this morning with that group appearing to focus on, again, that area of food vendors right outside of a Food for Less and a Home Depot garden center. And here's what one witness told us.
They grabbed that lady, she sells on the side. Yeah, but I was there too late, but I went to help them to throw everybody out from the parking lot, but there was a lot of them. They were like checkpointing every car were coming out. It's sad. Now they got like some phone numbers to contact their parents, families.
And this is more video that a bystander posted. Witnesses tell us the whole operation took about 15 to 20 minutes. And from that video, we could see that those federal agents then got back into that Penske truck and a couple of white vans and left. Cara Finstrom, Kcal News.
And this statement from Penske Truck Rental reading in part, Penske strictly prohibits the transportation of people in the cargo area of its vehicles under any circumstances. The company was not made aware that its trucks would be used in today's operation and did not authorize this. Thousands of homes are without water in one part of the San Fernando Valley now. Assignment manager Mark Liu is live at the desk to tell us why, Mark.
Yeah, it's because of a broken water valve deep underground, Jasmine. The LADWP says 9,200 customers are without or have very little water pressure in the communities of Porter Ranch and Granada Hills. And DWP crews are working around the clock to get this fixed. Now, what you're seeing right here, shot earlier this morning, LADWP work crews connecting a mobile high-powered water pump to the water system near Porter Ranch Drive and the 118 freeway in Porter Ranch. That's because yesterday afternoon, DWP crews say they were making repairs to a 10 million gallon water tank in the area. And during the course of those repairs, they learned that a very important water valve that feeds that tank was failing to open. So as a result, water flowing into that tank and then into the communities of Porter Ranch and Granada Hills was cut off. And DWP is asking people in those two areas who have any water pressure at all this morning, most do not, but those that do, please conserve water, turn off your sprinklers, don't use dishwashers or washing machines for at least the next couple of days. In the meantime, DWP says they have to dig 20 feet down to get to this broken water valve, and they may not have repairs finished until Friday. In the meantime, they're doing this. This is a very long line already at Cessna and Tampa of cars waiting to receive pallets of bottled water provided by the city. This is for people affected by this water outage. There are 2 more distribution sites at Holly Burnson Park and O'Melveny Park. These sites are going to be operating from 10 to 7 every day while this water outage is happening. They provide drinking water to people in the area. DWP says they are going to keep doing this. There is a very long line here already. Coming back out live here to me, Jasmine. DWP says these repairs may take until Friday because just digging the hole downward to get to that broken water valve might take between 14 and 16 hours alone. And then once they're down there, they still have to fix it.
Yeah.
So this could take a while.
Yeah, and that's hot and hard work for them, but also we're coming up with the 2 hottest days this week.
That's exactly right.
They need lots of water. All right, a suspected serial mail thief got a loud message delivered to him in Studio City. Look at this video of the suspect apparently using a master key right in the lobby of this complex on Long Bridge Avenue and Valley Heart Drive last week. So last night around 11, a neighbor thought he spotted the same guy wearing a similar hat as the man in the video. So as you can see here, he maced the suspect before someone else smashed the suspect's car with a baseball bat. Timothy Bramer, who's being called the Valley Heart Vigilante, told us the alleged suspect attacked him with a knife.
I popped out to film him to say, hey, he liked to rob us, and he tried to swat the phone away. I pepper sprayed him. He then tried to get in his car. We were trying to get him out. He pulled out a knife, and I had to go through the windshield because I didn't know if he stabbed me or not, but I got blood everywhere. I think it's mine.
Yeah, the suspect is still out there, so the community is putting his picture up to raise awareness. CBS News has learned that Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, did not directly implicate President Trump of any wrongdoing. This came out during her interviews with the Justice Department. Maxwell is appealing her case and seeking clemency. However, her lawyer is arguing against the Justice Department's request to unseal grand jury testimony in this case. Now, the family of the late Virginia Giuffre, who became one of the most vocal Epstein accusers, is questioning the treatment Maxwell is receiving.
None of this feels normal and none of it feels above board.
Why are we listening to a known perjurer? I mean, I think if anybody needs to be heard, it's the survivors.
The House Oversight Committee issued subpoenas in connection with the Epstein case for former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. In 2019, Clinton's office said that while he knew nothing about the terrible crimes Epstein committed, he took 4 trips on an Epstein plane in 2002 and 2003. The House committee also wants to hear from former attorneys general and DOJ officials who oversaw federal investigations of Epstein. California Attorney General Rob Bonta raising the red flag about hospice fraud. During a news conference just this morning, Bonta unveiled a new public awareness campaign aimed at protecting Californians and